Wait. 1 second. Chill. Okay, maybe I have to think. All right. It's the kid, it's the child, it's the child. Trying to live, trying to exist, trying to stay alive. Trying to live, trying to exist, trying to stay alive, trying to stay alive. Um, San Marino. What? San Marino. Why am I starting with San Marino? Why? Why would your boy HH start with San Marino? What the hell does San Marino mean? Um, San Marino. What the hell does it mean? Can I just ask people, because I'm looking at what people say. Who did Portugal play against? Because I'm seeing a lot of Cristiano is back and Cristiano is that dude. Who did Portugal play against and who did Cristiano score against? Please tell me. I want to find out in that thing. So guys, look, man. So Wally just say these things. Obviously, I think the England Montenegro post match analysis. It's obviously up on the YouTube thing right now, and I say to myself that what is the point in qualifiers? That's all I ask myself. What is the point in qualifiers? Why do qualifiers exist? For what reason are they? Because the gap in quality between the top teams and the lesser teams is huge. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, the gap in quality between these different kinds of teams. So, but they have to be played. They have to be played. But what is the point in watching Italy against San Marino, England against San Marino? What is the point of watching Kazakhstan against Spain? So I don't know how we're supposed to solve that, because the whole point is everybody has to compete, which is why I was always against a 48 team World Cup. This isn't about participation. Oh, let's everybody take part. Let's everybody go together. No. It's about the best of the best of the best of the best of the best, where we want to see the best quality matches. So the qualifiers are fine. Let's everybody compete, because everybody has a right to compete. Once we now get to the flipping World Cup, that's where it all changes. So, what's coming up in today's show? We're going to talk about Sancho. About Sancho wanting to leave Dortmund, which I find very, very strange, and I think that's a bad move, but I will explain that. So he's wanting to leave Dortmund. Liverpool are interested, United are interested. I think even other guys like Barcelona may be interested in his signature. We were also going to talk about maybe the Euro 2020 qualifiers, maybe talk about the Euro 2020, who are favorites, who will do better. So just, because whenever these international things come through, I think it's good to just sort of have an overall discussion about my thoughts on the Euro 2020 and who are the favorites, who are the underdogs, who will do well, who will be the surprise team. And also Willian, talking about Willian and about how Juventus and Barcelona are both interested in Willian's services. Should he go, how will he benefit both teams? And also we're going to talk about Ibrahimovic. Where should he go to now? He's left LA Galaxy. What can he offer other teams now? And I want to also have a commentary and talk a little bit more as to regards to Ibrahimovic, and also want to also share a few tweets as well, because what I want to do is go to a whole tweeting section where I look at some interesting tweets that I've seen either the timeline or sent to me, discuss them, and then last 10-15 minutes I'll then take your questions and see what is happening in the live chats. But also, guys, I don't give a crap if Cristiano scored 5 goals against a bunch of bricklayers or a bunch of part-timers. Grow up. Do better. Be better. Go score a goal in a World Cup final, or don't talk to me. So it doesn't matter. Score a goal in a flipping World Cup final, then come and talk to me. You can pose however the hell you want. Prove yourself that you're something, then come back and talk to me. So let's start first with our first thing on the agenda. El Sancho. So Sancho has now said that he wants to leave Dortmund. Or rather, I don't know whether he said it, but reports have come out that he wants to leave Dortmund. There have been a few issues happening between him and I believe that Dortmund, or maybe specifically Lucien Favre, being substituted, and he's not really been in favor as much as he has been in previous years. in the previous seasons for Dortmund. So this is now puts teams into alerts right now. So let's put the whole news reports to one side. Let's put the whole news report to one side, which is the fact that I think it's a bad move for Sancho. Sancho, you're still young. And when you're a young player and you find a team that works for you, stay in that team until you're like 24 or 25, when you're old enough to then leave. Because if Sancho now moves, because I think Sancho is a very exciting player. He's a quality player who has great potential. But the key thing is that he has got great potential. He's not there yet. He's not the finished article. I'm one of the biggest fans of the Us. I feel that the Us is much. I think the Us's development is much greater than Sancho. And I think the Us can pop into any team and say what's up. But even the Us needs to develop. Even the Us needs to improve. Even the Us needs to get better. So for your boy Sancho, you can, if the Us needs to improve, you can definitely improve. And I think his improvements will work better at Dortmund. It's a similar thing that I said to Paul Pogba and Labille. Pogba should have remained at Juventus, because if he remained at Juventus, Lorenzo Allegri improved his game, then made a move to a United. He would have been a much better player and would have been in a much stronger position to be able to say what's up. In a position to say what's up. One second, just open this quick door. So he would have been in a much better position to say what's up. But hopefully BrickNet isn't gonna screw me over. So for Sancho, but the fact of the matter is that it seems as if he's gonna be believing. It seems as if now he's gonna go, and I think the question right now is, where should he go to? Where would be right for him? Is where would be right for this dude. And there are a couple of options. I'll keep it real with you. I'll give it to you straight, guys, because guys, I always give it to you straight. I don't know why Man United keep getting in the mix. I don't know a nice way to say this. So I'm just going to say it. It doesn't matter how big Man United's brand is. This isn't a business channel. If this was a business channel about business brands and marketing, oh my God, like your United would be like the biggest team in the world, and I'll be saying, United, yo, United, yo, yeah, man, what's up, baby? That's what I'll be saying. But this isn't a marketing channel. This is a football channel. And this is a football channel that is focused on footballing relevance, specifically on the pitch. Hence why, for me, David Beckham is irrelevant to me. Because David Beckham is a model who is a legend off the pitch. On the pitch, he's a nobody. And in this channel, I don't care about nobodies and I don't care about bricks. United right now are irrelevant on the pitch. So with regards to any up-and-coming quality player, United shouldn't even be in the conversation. They need to sort themselves out, be better on the pitch, get those results, then you can say what's up. Sancho would be a flipping idiot to even consider going to Man United. And before, because I know what you guys will be saying, like, my God, look, man, Sancho, you have the ability as an individual to go to United and change things for them. Last I checked, Sancho's name isn't Neymar Jr. Last I checked, he's not called Neymar Jr. Okay, he's not called Neymar Jr. He's not built like that. Okay, he's not that dude. So him alone as an individual isn't changing the fortunes of those guys. It's just not happening. He's not changing the fortunes of those guys. So he has to be very careful with how he approaches this. So if you now talk about Liverpool, and what he could do for Liverpool. I think he would work very well for Liverpool. I think he'd work very well for Liverpool and I think that would be a great option. The one drawback of the Liverpool thing is you're not guaranteed game time. Because if he now goes, who is he displacing? Is he going to displace El Dio? Nope. Is he displacing Salah? Nope. He's not going to fight off Lallana, going to fight off Shaqiri and everything, And that's why I say, so if I'm Sancho, I need game time. Because if you're now going into, because of the Euro 2020 is next summer, so if you're now looking at the World Cup in Qatar in 3 years' time, and Southgate is looking at this team, you need to be playing regularly. You play regularly for United, but it's United. And it's a tough situation that has a rookie as a coach called Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If you're for Liverpool, it's a quality team, great team. You will fit into that team. I think you'll be great, especially with how the team attacks. You won't be guaranteed playing regularly. Now, even I'll go beyond, and we look at Barcelona. If we look at Barcelona, I think that the thing with Barcelona is I think he would be really good for Barcelona under the right coach. Valverde doesn't improve players. Valverde is from the road. Okay, Valverde. See, this is what I realize about Valverde. Valverde is a hustler. Okay, Valverde is a hustler. He's not a football coach. He's a hustler. He's there to hustle wins and to hustle cash. You don't learn from a hustler. Okay, a hustler hustles. So if you're a young test tube baby, an IVF baby, you don't learn from a guy who hustles from the road. So now, if let's say Barcelona say, you know what, Frank Rijkaard, come baby. Ronald Koeman, what's up, baby? Ten Hag, yo, what up, baby? Then I'll say, yo, Sancho, say what's up. Go say what's up. If they're gonna get a better coach, if we're looking at, so you're about to say Bayern, but look, it's already in Germany. You want to move from Bayern to Germany. I'm just trying to take a look at the other teams because PSG he won't get game time there. I don't think he's the right player, the right piece for Juventus. I think Tottenham would be a step down. He wouldn't fit in at Atletico Madrid. I mean, where do you think, guys? Where do you think he would fit? I think those are the teams I'm thinking of: Barcelona, Liverpool, and obviously Man United. And now saying everything. Chelsea. Now, let's think on this. Let's think on this. So Sancho plays wide right. He plays wide right. I like Hudson-Odoi. He's a good kid. Pedro is done. I think Pedro already wants to leave in January. So he's out. Willian is on that something. And we're going to talk about Willian. We're going to talk about Willian in this live show. We're going to have to talk about Willian. But for Sancho at Chelsea, I think that could be really interesting. And if you're going to sell me Pulisic, Willian, Sancho, Tammy Abraham, bro, that's interesting. So if you're Sancho, and you're trying to decide where to ride with, you're trying to say what's up with where you need to go. Chelsea is the best plan because do you know why Chelsea is the best plan? That's a team you would fit in. You're English, so Lampard will play you. You would get into the team because I believe that of all the options there, I think Sancho would get into in ahead of both Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic based on him being good and being English. And you would play regularly. So all the elements are there for the Chelsea move to work. Regular play, you fit the system, you're English, so Lampard will play you, I think that works. I think that works. So I don't know where you guys are coming from it, but I believe that works. Because look, there is still time, and I still think like he may still stay. He may still stay. So he's a Chelsea fan. But look, this isn't about. No, trust me, this is not a thing about bias and everything. Look, because for me, I'm looking at everything objectively here. Liverpool, you're not guaranteed to play regularly because that is a team that is already set in stone, and that is a first team that Klopp already knows very well. And Sancho isn't displacing either El Dio or Salah. Now, if El Dio or Salah becomes injured, I think he would go ahead of either a Shaqiri or a Lalana. But what is the likelihood that El Dio and Salah will be injured? And is Sancho happy to be in a situation where he's hoping and praying that either of these guys get injured so he plays? United, they're in the process of trying to improve, and as a young player, I would not advise you going into that whole thing for United. If Barcelona had a different manager and a different coach, I would recommend that. I would 100% recommend him going there. If they had a different coach and a different manager, I'll say, bro, head there, go there, make it happen. So, but the Chelsea thing makes sense because see, for me, do you know what I truly believe? Give me the cameraman. Do you know what my advice for Sancho? Stay at Dortmund. Stay. There's no reason for you to leave. Because you know what I think is going to happen? I think Lucien Favre may end up even getting sacked. But for me, for Sancho, I'd say stay. Because I've always said, like, you benefit so much playing abroad. You benefit so much playing in a different league. It helps you. It is a great learning process. A great learning process. And I think that he can learn so much from playing abroad. He can learn so much from playing abroad. And I think, would Sancho be regarded like this if he had stayed in England? I don't think he would have. So I think that there is something to be said of him making that move. So that's my thing. I think that Sancho remain at Dortmund. I think that's the best thing for you. So next on the agenda, see this thing about wearing sunshades. You can hardly see anything. Your boy Ibra. So Ibrahimovic has decided that he wants to. He's leaving LA Galaxy now. And even before he announced his that he wanted to leave LA Galaxy, I was hearing AC Milan. I was hearing he wanted to go to Spain. So I don't know whether he was doing that to seek attention. But actually, I'm actually interested to see what the live chat says here with regards to what impact did he make in the MLS. Did he improve the profile of the MLS? Because I think as an individual, he was successful. So I'll put my hands up and say, as an individual, he was successful in the MLS. He helped to raise the profile of the MLS. Well, no. Chill. He was successful individually in the MLS. The hat-tricks he scored, the winners he scored, and everything. He did not raise the profile of the MLS. Keep it real with you. Do we now respect the MLS a lot more now based on what Ibrahimovic did? No, I don't think we do. No, I don't think we do. Like, the player who I believed made the biggest impact to the profile of the MLS was Pele. When Pele moved to the MLS, it was a big deal. And I think the MLS still hasn't kicked on from the introduction of Pele into that league. So I don't know who is to blame there on everything, whether you want to blame the organizers, because again, it's like the MLS should have been able to take what Pele did and embrace the sport of football. Because look, I mean, maybe this is a different conversation, but Americans need to understand that the world doesn't care about NFL. The world doesn't care about American egg ball. They don't. The world does not care about American egg ball. The world really cares and only cares about football. Football is the world's most popular sport, and Americans need to just eat some humble pie, stop being arrogant, and just accept that the premier sport is football. Okay, so the premier sport is football, and you just need to accept this. But for Ibrahimovic, I said again, look, it's another notch off his career. And I wanna talk about Ibrahimovic here. So before we even talk about where should he go, I don't know where he'd improve. But although if he was to say, oh what? Sorry. So if he was to say AC Milan, if this dude was to say AC Milan, I think AC Milan are so bad they could actually benefit from having him in the team. So if you're Milan, because Milan are so trash, Milan are so messed up that a 50-year-old Ibrahimovic would actually improve them, and I would actually get them better. But look, I want to just talk mainly about Ibrahimovic, man. He talks a lot, you know. This dude talks a hell of a lot. Based off how much this guy talks about himself and props himself up, is he really that good? And I know what people are going to say. I find Ibrahimovic funny. As much as I find Cristiano annoying and very sick in his arrogance, I actually like Ibrahimovic's arrogance. Similar to Mourinho, I like Mourinho's arrogance. I think Mourinho's arrogance is funny and amusing. I think Ibrahimovic has a great personality, hence why I think he would do really well in Hollywood. So I find him funny. But the thing here is this, is that the reason why it frustrates me is I know how talented Ibrahimovic is. That's the issue here. Is, bro, you're extremely good. And you can do things that not many players in this world can do. Some of the outrageous things that you've done have been absolutely extraordinary. Extraordinary. I just saw someone mention Andorra. Why? Did Cristiano score against an Andorra? Who played against an Andorra? But so because you're so extraordinary in what you've been able to do, I expect more from you. You should be a Champions League winner. You should be one of the best players in the world. You should be one of the best strikers of your generation because your talent demands it. Your talent demands it. And we can't just use a YouTube show reel to then deduct that this guy's amazing, that this guy's one of the best. We can't do that. JJ, for me, I will still hold up that JJ Okocha is one of the most talented football players of all time. He made Ronaldinho. Go ask Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho learned everything Ronaldinho knows, he learns from Okocha. Fact, when they both played at PSG. And I will take that with me for all the days of my life. I don't care what anyone says. Okocha is one of the most talented football players of all time. I don't care what anyone says. And people say, oh, you're biased and everything. Screw you. He is. He is, and he always will be. But I will admit that I cannot put Okocha as a great. So I can't put Okocha as a legend. Because to be a legend, you have to have been in positions where you said, what's up? You've had to have come through in big games. You have had to say what's up at particular moment in time, which Okocha did not. Although I always affirm that if Okocha moved to Barcelona or Real Madrid, he would have won CLs. Okay? So it's your loss that you didn't buy Okocha. Because you put Okocha in his prime at a Barcelona or even a United, bro, he'd be a legend. He'd be a legend because everyone knows how good Okocha. I don't even want to say everybody knows how good Okocha is, man. Okocha is better than half of your bloody loser goats, man. But for Ibrahimovic, man, it's like you're becoming more of a celebrity. You become more of a personality than a football player that should be respected. Your mouth and the things that you say about yourself are superseding what you did on the pitch. Now, people will say, look, HH, have you seen this guy's career? He won in Holland. He won in Italy. He won in Spain. He won in France. And now he won things in America. He's conquered all of these places. But there are degrees of conquering. Now, I'll ask you guys this. Based on Ibrahimovic's skill sets, should we expect more from him? Or are his achievements great enough for a man of his talents? If you see that his achievements are great enough for a man of his talents, cool. That means he obviously isn't as good as I thought he was. You know? Because league titles are great. League titles are great. All right, let me just show this up. League titles are always great. Always great. But you should strive for more. Isn't a Champions League greater than a league title? Or are you equating a league title the same as a Champions League? Ibra won the EFL Cup. Ibra, some dude. Are you trying to troll here, or are you just trying to crack a joke? Ibra won the EFL Cup. So that's my thing, because for Ibrahimovic, see, you've got to be very careful here. You cannot boast about conquering the MLS. Shh. The MLS is a retirement home. You don't boast about your achievements in the MLS. It's a retirement home. Homes. Okay? See, let's keep it real. It's a retirement home. You go there to retire. The cannibal is thinking of going to the MLS because he's thinking of retiring. David Villa went there because he was on the process of retiring. You go there to retire. So you can't just be like, yeah, LA Galaxy, blah, blah, and this is down to the organizers of the MLS. Like, America, you have enough money. You have the infrastructure for the MLS to be a major player. That's what Chinese Super League is doing. The Chinese Super League, I don't view that as a retirement zone. I view that as a league that is trying to compete. But it's just going to take time, but it is at least trying to compete with the big players. The MLS is not even trying to compete. It's just separate and just happy being what it is. I don't see the effort of the MLS saying, no, we're trying to recruit the very best players and trying to make this a market that is as viable and as respected as Europe. So what the Chinese Super League is, I don't insult the Chinese Super League. I insult players going there. I don't insult the Chinese Super League. Because I look, it takes time. You can't just compete with Europe, which has had decades of infrastructure. You can't just beat them overnight. So I respect what China are doing. And they've been doing pretty well. Because MLS ain't recruiting flipping, what's it called? Hulk, Etso, what's the name of this guy? Belgian dude. Begins with C. Played for Atletico Madrid. Why am I forgetting this guy's name? Why am I forgetting this guy's name? Oh my God, what's his name? Help me, what's his name? Belgian dude, moved to the Chinese Super League, played for Atletico Madrid, slicked back hair like this. Oh my God. Why am I forgetting this? Thank you. Carrasco. Yes, Carrasco. Yannick Carrasco. He moved when he was in his 20s. Cheers, guys. So, Skipper Chinese Super League, they're trying. Those guys are trying. You know, so but MLS don't give a damn. They don't care. They don't care. So that's the thing info there for Ibra. Um so next on the agenda, let's pull this right up. Um let's talk about Willian. Willian Shakespeare. So Willian has been doing some quality stuff for Chelsea. Do you know what I always say? Now, am I wrong in saying this? I mean, because I wrote an article on this on the Patreon. Guys who obviously look at who our Patreon members can obviously see where I blogged about this. Am I wrong in saying this? Let me put this out there. See what you guys say. If Willian was more consistent, he'd be world class, and he'd be an upper tier 2 player. Not as good as Neymar or Messi, but you can put him within that stratosphere and category. Now, people say, oh, if anybody is consistent, they'll be amazing. If Leroy Sané was consistent, I'm not putting him on that level. If, who else? If Rashford was consistent, I'm not putting him on that upper tier 2 level. If Arthur was consistent, I'm not putting him on that upper tier 2 level. Willian has the ability to win the game by himself. Not many players possess that ability. There are many players who are very good, but they're very good role players. When Willian is on it, he has the ability where, as an individual, this guy can change the game by himself, on his own. That's huge. That's huge. So I can understand how and why there are teams and people looking for Willian, because he has been very much on a form. And I think as well as Chelsea have played, and they played really, really well. Lampard is still shocking me because I thought the dude was a rookie. As well as Chelsea have played, the driving force of Chelsea's amazing form and amazing winning run has been Willian. You know, and if it's me, keep him as captain. Azpilicueta, thank you. Thanks for your services, although you were a trash captain, especially during the whole Aretha Balaga incident, showing that you were actually pretty trash as a captain. But thanks for everything that they've done. But now, Willian, I'm alright with this dude. I think, Willian is someone that I would ride with and say, you know what, this guy knows what's up. This guy knows what's up. So, Barcelona and Juventus have both been interested in Willian. And these are two teams that are looking to strengthen, specifically Barcelona, who obviously we all know are having issues with Valverde and pretty much finding their mojo and finding their je ne sais quoi. So, whenever we talk about transfer things, we always have to, I always like doing it in this nice structure, is how would he help each of these teams? What would happen if he went to each of these teams? And what is likely to happen, and what should he do? So, first things first, let's start with Barcelona. Would Willian work in Barcelona's system? My quick answer is no, because of how Willian plays. Remember, Barcelona's system is very much centered around Messi, and I think it still has the aesthetic of the Xavi Iniesta era and pretty much the Guardiola era. And I'm not sure how well Willian would fit into that very intricate pass and move, intricate kind of system that is pretty much centered around Messi, where Messi is the engineering force. I think there may be times where Messi and Willian will not really be on the same wavelength. And it is very important that when you're going to Barcelona that you're on the same wavelength as Messi. Which is why I think that for the US, I think the US should leave Barcelona personally for me. But that's how he holds says everything. Okay, try respect the US. Respect the US. So I'm not sure whether he would work there, but if Barcelona are willing to change, are willing to open themselves up, are willing to perhaps not be so dogmatic in their approach, I think and I believe that he would be a great addition for Willian, because I think Willian would add a great attacking thrust to them, which is why that's what I thought the US would bring. I thought that by Barcelona getting the US, they would change their approach to how they attack. They will be much more direct. But that hasn't happened. They still want to play a way where Messi dictates the way in which they approach offensively. So if that happens, I don't believe that Willian would fit into that mind frame. That's that whole frame. We look at Juventus, and some people say, okay, Willian at Juventus, how does that work? But then I look at Quadrado, I look at Douglas Costa, and these are players who I feel are very similar to Willian. And you think to yourself that, remember, Willian played under Sarri at Chelsea to some success. And for Juventus, the key for Juventus this season is when you're looking at what happened to them last season and everything. I think the whole idea for Juve is we need to give Cristiano help. We need to help Cristiano. The more help we have of Cristiano, the less pressure he has to deal with, the more likely we are to win. Because you know that this guy will always be able to get goals. Hopefully not against guys like Lithuania and Andorra, but actually against proper teams. Let's keep it real. So that's what you hope for. That's what you hope for, that you're able to really get those wins against those flipping dudes. So Willian at Juventus, I think, would be interesting. Would he be that much of a game changer for Juventus? I don't know. I don't know whether, if you told me, okay, Juve gets Willian, does this give them the Champions League? Does this give them the treble? No. It helps them. It greatly helps them. It greatly elevates them. But I do think that, for Sarri, he still needs to figure out how to balance the team and get the team as a whole working well. And I don't think that the introduction of Willian will suddenly just get the team clicking. Although it would be a great addition, and I think he would complement Quadrado and Douglas Costa very well. And I just think it would make Juve's attack much more interesting. But let's take things back to Chelsea. It's a short sample size. It's a small sample size. But I believe in this past month or last few months, this is the best that Willian has looked all through his Chelsea time. I think that him being given the role of leader, of captain, being one of the oldest players in the team, one of the most respected players in the dressing room, I think he's really embraced that. And you would have thought that, with his best friend David Luiz leaving, he would have been somehow affected by that, and maybe he would not have been taken. So all credit to Willian, and I think that's why you have to just respect Willian the man. You have to respect Willian the man, because remember during that whole Mourinho time when there was a mutiny and they got my boy sacked? Who was the one player who was still riding through? Who was the one consummate professional who didn't let his head drop but was still playing hard? Willian. And ever since I saw that, I was like, nah, this dude deserves to be respected. That's even when everybody was playing like crap, he still said what's up. And he was still giving masterful performances. And for that, you would have to respect the man. Forget about the footballer, respect the man, because that is a personality thing. That's a character thing that's just beyond football. But if you're Willian, this Lampard thing is an exciting project. Because you're captain, you're one of the older heads, you're pretty much a consistent starter for this team. And this is a very exciting attacking team that works very well with what you want. Because I feel that Sarri's team was interesting, but it didn't really remove the shackles. And Willian is a very direct player. And I think, Willian is the kind of player who is always going to go for it. He's very, very South American and Brazilian in that way, which is why I just look at them and I'm like, man, if you just had better decision making, if you just had better decision making at particular instances, you'd be money. You'd be money. If you had better decision making in particular instances, you would be money. You'd be straight money. But unfortunately, that Willian can sometimes just make crazy ass decisions. So just running about this for Willian, what he should do here. I think if Barcelona or Juventus come with a concrete deal, it's hard to reject that. And if Willian took that, I'm like, bro, nobody should be angry because that's a rarity, And I think especially with Willian being Brazilian, for the chance to play for Barcelona, something that I don't think he would ever have thought would even come up. But I've got the chance to play for Barcelona, following the footsteps of Ronaldinho, of Romario, of Rivaldo, of Ronaldo, bro. Yeah. So if Barcelona came with an offer, I think he'd take it. Juventus, I'm not sure. Juve, I'm not sure. But for Barcelona, based on the history and the link that they have with Brazil, I think that he'd take it. So that's the thing. So people say, I think that he'd take it. So I just feel that, for Willian, if I was advising him, I think staying at Chelsea makes sense. You know what? It's really difficult. It's really difficult. I mean, I don't know what you guys will say, because it's like, on one hand, I say stay at Chelsea. Things are going well. Things are going really, really, really great here, and you're playing well. But at the same time, Barcelona is one of the biggest clubs in the world. So whether you're a supporter of Chelsea or not, Barcelona will always be a bigger club than Chelsea. And if you have the chance of either playing for Chelsea or Barcelona, you play with flipping Barcelona. And if you have the chance of playing with flipping Messi, you do that. So if Willian is given a chance to play for Barcelona, my God, you'd be crazy to reject that and stay with Chelsea. You'd be mad. See, if Willian was young, let's say if Willian was 20 or 21, I'd be like, the wise thing to do is stay at Chelsea, develop. Bro, Willian is right in the twilight of his career. He's right in his full. I think he's like 30 now or something. So, similar to Henry, because let's keep it real, every player wants that Champions League. Every player dreams of winning the Champions League. That's what every player dreams of. Of course, the main dream is the world. So I told you, it goes World Cup, Champions League. Then everything else is just extra. World Cup? No, yeah, World Cup, Champions League, your Continental Trophy. That's the order of things for players. World Cup, Champions League, Continental Trophy. So for Willian, it's like, my gosh, first of all, chance to play for Barcelona, and I will have a much better chance of winning the Champions League with Barcelona than I will with Chelsea. So, in that sense, it makes sense. In that sense, it makes sense. And who am I to begrudge him, So, I mean, I do think that he'll still stay at Chelsea, because these are rumors and reports, and I don't think that Barcelona will make a concrete offer for Willian. Juve might because of the whole Sarri link, but I think Barcelona I think those are just rumors and reports, and I think Barcelona will be looking for someone different rather than your boy, a Willian. So just quick thing before I take your questions here. Just general Euro 2020 thoughts, man. Are France favorites for the Euro 2020? I mean, before I do that, let me just hit the super chat here, because that's what I'm going to think. Are France actually favorites for the Euro 2020? So from Brian K002, thank you, Brian, for your super chat from Mr. Brian K002. 002. Is Higuain glued to Sarri at Napoli, Chelsea, Juve? Oh, so look, um, managers always have players that they like. And trust me, I really believe that Sarri tried to bring Jorginho. And I do think that, if you're Higuain, because look, you have to understand, Higuain has been a guy who has been taking a lot of beef. Rightfully so. Because the guy breaks it up in 2 successive Copa America finals. So I believe that Higuain, every time that, let's say, is separated from Sarri, he picks up the phone and be like, yo, sorry, what's up? Because see, for Higuain, when he broke this goal scoring record in Syria for Napoli and Sarri, he was like, oh no, my name is Gonzalo Higuain. I can do anything, man. I don't need Sarri. I'm amazing. I'm pretty amazing. I'm too good for Napoli. What's up? Then he was like, nah, you know about that life. You actually, no, you're Sarri's biatch. You're Sarri's biatch. And you've only looked good under Sarri. Without Sarri, you've looked like an average striker. So, is it a coincidence that Higuain has suddenly looked really good for Juve this season because he's playing under Sarri? So obviously the Sarri system is perfectly tailor-made to the way that in which he plays. So Higuain would only hope that somehow Sarri was Argentine and he could coach Argentina. So yeah, so to answer your question, that yeah, he is pretty much glued to him. So just quick Euro 2020 thing. I don't think France should be put as favourites. Something just tells me that going into this whole Euro 2020, and my excitement for it is I think it's going to be pretty open. Because, yes, France are World Cup champions, but I just think like the difficult season that Paul Pogba has had, Giroud again, not even playing that many games, not having that many games under his belt. Umtiti, who was crucial. Guys, as good as Varane was, Umtiti was almost as crucial, probably even more crucial for France in that World Cup run. He's been injured for most of this season. So if Umtiti is fit for next summer, how sharp will he be? How fit will he be if he comes back into? So just based on what is happening with these French players around, Lacazette has somewhat gone off the boil. I don't think that they'll be coming into the Euros as big time as you would expect them to. I don't think they'll be coming into the Euros as big time as you would expect them to. So it's sort of a bit like, are they really there? Are they really about that life? And all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so look, that's my thing. That's that I think it's going to be quite open. I'm still not sold on Belgium. And again, it's very similar. Hazard. Because say only once about De Bruyne and everything. The only chance of Belgium winning that Euros is if Zad shows up. I haven't seen Zad since the Europa League final. So I don't know where Zad is. I've not seen him since the Europa League final. So yeah, let's see what some of you guys. So yeah, guys, send in your questions, man. Send in your questions. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Portugal. H2, what about Portugal? Portugal, all right. I think like. Put it this way. If I give Portugal that Euro win, I give them that Euro win, but let's keep it real. Belgium are much better than they were at 2016. France are much better than they were in 2016. Mbappe wasn't in that French team. Kante wasn't in that French team. Let's keep it real, guys. Let's keep it all the way real. If Portugal played France and Mbappe and Kante were in the team, France beat them. Let's keep it all the way out. Let's keep it all the way out. But I just think that Portugal have a nice squad. They have a real nice squad. And they have every chance of defending their title. I'm not sure they can go all the way. Because I feel that if they face a Belgium or France, I don't think that this Portuguese team would be able to beat them based on how much these teams have improved. Portugal deserved that Euro win. Of course they did. I don't think that they faced serious offensive weapons. Because remember, who was the main guy for France in 2016? It was Sideshow Bob, Sideshow Griezmann. Okay, so that was their main guy. So now you're seeing a much more improved, mature Pogba, a much more team. But you're throwing Mbappe there, you throw in Kante in there. It's a whole nother proposition. For Belgium, again, if Zad shows up, it's a different proposition. De Bruyne is a much improved player than he was in 2016. And they don't have Vilmot, who did not have a clue what he was doing. They have Martinez. I still believe that they do. So, and also look, for Portugal, if they're to win it, they have to go through either France or Belgium. Facts. Any team that wins this trophy will have to beat either France or Belgium. I don't know whether Portugal beats either France or Belgium. That's my thing. I don't know whether they do. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Most overrated players in the world. Cristiano, Harry Kane, Kai Havertz, who else? I think those were the names. Who else? Yeah, so Cristiano, Kane, Kai Havertz, Frankie De Jong, and I think that's about it. Yeah, those I would say are the most overrated players in the world right now, man. Hype, too much hype. Is Hazard overhyped? I think that based on how Hazard has begun this season, nobody has been saying anything about him. So let's be real, nobody has actually been saying anything about Hazard, how the way that he's actually started off this season. So keeping it real, man. Is Eriksen's not really overhyped, when Coman is not. Yeah, okay. I mean, Holland, Netherlands. Netherlands are a team to watch out for. I wouldn't go as far as to say that I will put them in as favorites, but all I'll say is watch out. They're just a team to watch out for. They're a team to be wary. They're just a team to be wary. Yeah. They're just it seems to be wary about, man. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying, man. Griezmann, Harry Kane. Spain now is like, for me. I'm not feeling Spain because I just think that Spain's that was their golden era, and I think that without Xavi and Iniesta, Spain cannot win another major trophy again. And Spain, because the key to Spain's win was, what I'll say, the key to Spain's win? Xavi, Iniesta, David Villa. But really, really have to say Xavi and Iniesta. Once they left, I was like, that's it. Spain can never win another major trophy because they were the two essential ingredients for Spain winning. Look at all the wins that Spain had. Xavi controlled the game. Iniesta was the attacking force that created. And that's how they did it. That's how they regulated in 2008, in 2010, and in 2012. Look at Xavi's pass to Jessica Alba in 2012, who scored the winning goal in 2010. Look at how important Xavi and Iniesta were in 2008. So, and I just think that they still have a very good team. They still have a very good team, but no Blondie, no David Villa, no Xavi, no Iniesta. Piqué is trash. Ramos is on the decline. So yeah, I mean, I just don't think Spain are really about that life anymore, man. That's what you guys are saying. See, Italy. Italy need personality. Are they not? Because remember, In you go back to 2006, when nobody thought that they'd win. Like, no, 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 don't thought they win. But what did they have? They had character. They had a character and they had a lot of personality. And that personality is what won them through. And I think that with that amount of personality that they had, I think it was huge. And that is what really helped them be able to say what's up and be able to really regulate. So I think without that personality in the team, I'm not sure. Because I'll always ride with Marco Verratti. And I think Marco Verratti is the best player that Italy now have. You know, I still feel there should be a place for Balotelli in the team. But I don't see enough leaders in that Italian team. I mean, where is your Gattuso? Where is your Nesta? Where is your Cannavaro? Where is your Del Piero? You know, where are these leaders? Where are these characters? So with that, and the way that Italy have always won these things are those guys. They always had those men, those leaders that were able just to know how to win and grind out wins. You know, so without those things, you know, it's going to be hard for Italy to be able to win. You know, but they're still talented, that team, and I think it is always hard to beat Italy because they care so damn much. These guys will put their bodies on the line for that shirt. They'll put their blood on the line. So no matter how bad Italy are, you have to pretty much kill them to beat them. you have to kill those guys to beat those guys because they care so much. Let's see. Who has the best attack in the Euros? Mr. Joe, who has the best attack in the Euros? Guys, I'll be real with you. It just might be England. Like, if you look at France, it's really Mbappe. It's really Mbappe. Griezmann, I say, is overrated. It's really Mbappe. If you look at Belgium, is it going to be Hazard or Zad? De Bruyne, yeah, you know. Origi, Lukaku, Origi, if you look at Holland, okay, Depay, yeah. But if you look at England, you have the goal scoring of Harry Kane. You have a rapidly up and coming quality number 10 in James Maddison. You've got a Rashford who, I know I've been hard on a Rashford and everything. That boy is talented. Hudson Odoi, a young talented player. I'm a huge fan of Jadon Sancho. Raheem Sterling is one of Man City's best players. You know, the amounts of attacking Oxlade-Chamberlain, there is no other country in the Euros that has the same amounts of attacking weaponry that England have. Obviously, England don't have an Mbappe. They don't. And they don't have a Zad. They have many Hazards. Trust me, you can find a Hazard on the road. They don't have any Zads. But as a collective, as a whole, and as far as options, I can bring this guy in, England have the best attacking options. So, which is what I said in my review, if Southgate knows how to harness these guys and get them playing a brand of attacking football where they are on the same wavelength, keep an eye on England. But it's all down to Southgate. It's if Southgate doesn't allow them to express themselves, England are not going. They'll maybe get knocked in the second round of the quarterfinals. But if England can really find the right pulse of these guys, bro, sky's the limit. Sky's the flipping limit, man. All right, what else are you guys saying? Turkey, Trashford. Where do you rate Xabi Alonso, man? Probably the best in his role at his time. So during his time, I don't think there was anyone better. I don't think there was a better. Because I always say I don't think there was a better deep line playmaker at this time. But didn't you count Pirlo as a deep line playmaker? And there's no way in hell I'm putting Xabi Alonso above Pirlo. But what I'll say is, as far as deep, because for me, I'd say that he's a deep line playmaker. As far as a deep line playmaker, deep line playmaker stroke DM, but really deep line playmaker. One of the best of his generation. Top 6 all time. Top 6 all time. So maybe I'll say fourth or fifth all time of deep line playmakers, which is pretty good. So because you have to think about Pirlo, you have to think about Dunga, Crosby. People forget Dunga was a damn good deep line playmaker. But so for Xabi Alonso, maybe put him fifth all time, fourth all time, because Xabi Alonso's long range passing was insane. His long range passing was flipping insane, and his shooting accuracy was damn good. Like his passing was flipping damn good, man. So, yeah, look, the Badger video is coming, Brad. Relax, it's coming, baby, it's coming. Xabi Alonso is not better than Pirlo. Shut your mouth, bro. Do I think Cristiano is done? No, Cristiano isn't done. But he isn't going to be able to play at as high a level as many people think, And I think that's him playing at that really top high level. I think that's done. I think that is done without him playing at that supremely high level. That's not going to happen, man. But the thing about Cristiano is that this is what I always say. He will. You don't need to be an amazing form to get a goal, and as long as he's on the pitch, there's every chance of him putting that ball at the back of the net. And I think for Juve, that's all they need. That's what I always say for Cristiano. I don't need you to dribble. I don't need you to look amazing. I don't want you to. Don't dribble, because you can't dribble. That's not what I want you for. Put the ball in that net, which is what I think to this day, as crap as whatever he'll be, he still understands how to win. And his winning mentality and his will to win is huge. He has one of the best winning mentalities you will find it in football. So that's what I say, for Juventus can win the Champions League if the supporting cast play at a high level. If the supporting cast plays at a high level, Cristiano can get you that flipping goal. He can get you that goal. And he almost single-handedly took these guys to the flipping semis. So that's my thing there. Guys, I believe it's all swell here, but what I always do, just to remind you guys of everything, man. What was this, my thing? If you haven't already, remember to subscribe to the Halftime Slot. I've put up a review of The Irishman. I put up a review of The Mandalorian. Irishman is a flipping crazy movie, 3.5 hours. I'll put up a non-spoiler review of that, and I'll probably put up my spoiler review of that probably sometime this weekend. And I've also put up my reviews of The Mandalorian. Interesting Star Wars series, better than that trash with Ray sequel trilogy. And also as well, if you haven't already, remember, you can become a Patreon. There is a new Horseman tier, which is the $20 a month tier. That is the huge, massive Horseman tier. So and if you become a Horseman, $20 a month, you get all the podcasts downloadable. So, for instance, for this show, it will be put on podcast form, in audio form, that you can download from the Patreon app, so you don't have to go through a whole rigmarole. So all the hangouts, all the shows and everything will all be able to be downloadable in a podcast form on the Patreon platform if you become a Horseman, and as well as other extra things as well. But mostly, it's to say it's to support your boy, pledge support your boy, and as a thank you from me, you get extra beautiful, lovely content. The links are in the description box below. Guys, it's been swell. It's been good. Tomorrow is Friday, I believe. So Friday is just going to be a Q&A. So Friday, 100% for the full hour, probably around 10 p.m., a full Q&A. I'll just answer all of your questions, and just get your questions in, and I'll answer all your lovely questions fully. So please stay tuned. I'll see you guys Friday for the Q&A, live Q&A. Peace out.